So this is going to be one of those videos where I make a lot of enemies within the industry, but I hope it helps you, the home buyer. So before we start, I am a mortgage lender licensed in 48 states. My team's one of the top purchase teams in the United States. We do not BS. We're very transparent. We always share our rate sheets. Like, we don't play. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about fake discounts. There's so much of this in the industry. And look, it's been driving me nuts for years. And I've done a couple videos on it, but it's like, I feel like I have to keep reminding you guys, you know, there's new buyers every year and you've got to watch out for this stuff. Okay, so let me tell you what happened today, which inspired this video. One of my friends sent over an advertisement that a lender had told real estate agents, hey, give this to your buyers so that they'll work for me. It's one of those real estate relationships where perhaps the lender's a little too close to the real estate agent. So I look at the flyer and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this is a good loan officer. This is ridiculous that they're doing this. Picture post, right? Work with me. I'll give you $500 towards closing costs. And I'm like, wow, so many people are going to fall for that because the real estate agent's going to say, hey, like, look, I really want you to work with my preferred lender. He's even going to give you a $500 discount because you're working with me. That's one of the perks of working with me, is that the lender I recommend values my business and my clients so much. Have you guys heard this? Can you feel this? That he's going to give you a credit towards your closing costs. Isn't that great? Yeah, okay. So I, of course, go to the fine print. Always go to the fine print. And if there is no fine print, that means they're totally out of compliance and playing games, and you should just run right there. Well, guess what, guys? In the fine print, you've got all the usual things like, you know, you have to get approved for the loan, and then at closing, they'll give you this credit, which affects the rate and APR. And you're like, oh, well, I don't, like, first of all, you never would have read that. Let's be real about this. Like, your average person is not going to read the fine print. Like, do I read the fine print on anything that's not mortgage? Probably not, right? So rule number one, always read the fine print. Rule number two, if there is no fine print, run. Okay? Now, so what does it mean that this credit is going to affect the rate and APR? It's priced in. And you're like, well, what does that mean, Jen? What does it's priced in mean? Okay, so when I'm looking at a rate sheet as a lender, let's say, and these are made up numbers, guys, if I look at a rate sheet, I price to 100. That's just my bar to know that I am pricing at a rate appropriate for my company. So I look at 100, right? Well, guess what? If, let's say that's 6%, okay? Let's say 5.875 is 99. That tells me I would need to charge you 1 point or 1% of the loan amount to get that lower rate. Okay, I have a video on points, but this is different. So if I'm at 6% at 100, well, if I'm at 6.125 and I'm 100.25, that means there's extra money. So where is that $500 coming from? Guys, it's coming from a slightly higher rate. And depending on your loan amount, I mean, here's the thing. If your loan amount's $100,000, that $500 credit is half a point that the lender's pricing into the rate sheet. That could make your rate a quarter, 0.375, even 0.5% higher. Okay, so whenever you see that you get this free money, but it can affect the rate in APR, you need to understand that you are getting a higher rate for that free money. Okay, it's not because you're a client of that real estate agent. It's not because it's a perk. It's literally just because lenders know that consumers love to think they're getting a deal, right? And so they market it. And look, if you read the whole paper, it's all there. Right? It's all there. They're not lying on the paper. It's in the disclosures. It's all right there in front of you. But who reads it and who understands it? No one. unless you watch this video, right? I mean, here, that's why we do this. Okay, what's another one of my favorite ones? We talk about builder fake credits all the time. Like, I have extra videos on those because those are like 40 minutes of ridiculousness. Another one that I see that I always think is funny is, and I get it from, places that I have money, right? Like banks, and they'll be like, hey, if you get a mortgage with us, we're gonna give you 0.25% off the rate because you're a valued customer. Yeah, about that, there's like one bank that actually gives you a discount off your mortgage, and usually that's if you have like $500,000, $1 million, $2 million sitting in one of their accounts making no interest, okay? Seriously. The other ones, one of the banks that I have, they don't have a lender in-house, and they've partnered with one of the really big lenders in the country. And I was getting these advertisements, oh, you're a special client of XYZ, so this mortgage company is going to give you a discount off your rate. And I was feeling feisty, so I was like, okay, I'll call. And I call, and I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking of refinancing my house, and blah, 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 blah. And I get the rate. And I'm like, well, is that with my discount? Yes, that's with your discount. Then I went to my computer, and I priced it out. Guys, it was higher than the rate I was offering with no discount. It's a fake discount. That's the thing. And that one doesn't have a disclosure that says that, because when you're talking about mortgage lenders and rates, it's all, well, how would I describe this? Everybody prices differently, right? So they could have it set up where any client from that institution, their rate sheet is just a quarter higher. So they're giving you the quarter discount, but the lender's still making the same amount of money they'd be making any other way. That's one of the problems in the industry that hurts consumers, is there's zero transparency, zero, and it's one of the reasons why when I'm talking to a client, if I'm the one that's locking the rate, I'll often take a picture of my rate sheet and say, hey, let's look at it together. And the reason I do that is because I want you guys to see it. We hear this with rate renegotiations. So when you're in contract to buy a house or you're refinancing, and your rate is locked, meaning you've selected the rate, you've indicated you want to lock, and the lender's locked it, some companies have the ability to renegotiate the rate if rates go down. Some don't. The thing about the companies that are saying, yeah, we can renegotiate your rate, we totally can. There's a fee to do it. Okay, it's that simple. But there's a lot of lenders that say, oh, well, it's free, because they're padding it into the rate sheet again. That's the thing. And it's like, if you guys want, to really know what's going on, work with a lender that will show you their rate sheet. Do it. And look, all companies price differently. Individual lenders within the company price differently. So it's not like there's one master sheet, but what you're looking for is someone who's going to be transparent enough to show you, hey, look, like if you went with this rate, you'd get a little money back. If you go with this rate, you're paying, to get that lower rate. And this is what we can do with none of it, so that you can make an educated decision. It's rare, and it shouldn't be. So my suggestion would be this: whenever you're seeing something where it's like, especially with lending, like, you have to just understand 9 out of 10 times it's getting priced in, okay? 9 out of 10 times. The only time something's not getting priced in is if a company has a huge initiative, right? And they're waiving a fee. Maybe it's, you hear about corporate benefits, right? Where like these huge companies, they recommend a certain lender, and if their employees work with them, they get a waived lender fee, okay? That often is not priced in. With VA, we waive our lender fee. That's not priced in, but that's also a company-wide initiative. So whenever you guys are seeing something where it's like, oh yeah, if you work with my lender, he gives you the appraisal for free, priced in. Oh, if you work with my lender, he's gonna give you a discount, priced in. It's always priced in. And what you need to know is that as a lender, after Dodd-Frank, we don't have the ability to just give people discounts. It's not a thing. Like, you could end up in a huge discrimination. You can't just say, oh, well, if it's a client of this, I'm gonna do this. It gets priced in. So here's the thing. Watch out for stuff like this. always read the fine print. You know, if someone's offering to give you money to work with them, be like, why? Like, just why? You know, it's going to get priced in, and you just have to go like, wow, they're trying to deceive me up front, but they're showing me everything. Like, what's going to happen down the line when I go to lock the rate? Like, are they going to give me the best rate they can, or are there going to be games? Do they even have good rates, right? Because that's the thing. If someone's offering you $500 to work with them and they're pricing it in, they're not going to be the most competitive lender. So really be careful out there. Watch out for this type of stuff. You know, if a real estate agent is saying that they'll give you a portion of their commission, that's legit. There's no way, well, I say that's legit, and then I go, oh, but there is a workaround to that. Watch out for transaction fees. So I'll do a separate video on that. But the overall of this is, look, so many of these discounts are fake, you know, and if you have a bank saying, oh, if you work with our mortgage team, we'll give you a discount, please compare them to another lender, because more often than not, the discount's not real. If someone's offering to give you money if you work with them, once again, look at the fine print. It's likely going into the rate or APR, rate and APR. So I hope this video was helpful. I don't want to go on too long. Questions, comments, as always, reach out. You can get on the calendar. My team helps you plan whether it's a month from now or 10 years from now. So please take advantage of our experience. Thanks for watching.